What's up, fish tank people? FishTankTV.com, Dustin's Fish Tanks bringing it to you with an old school video. That's right, old school players to new school fools. Cash keep it jumping like kangaroos. We're scheming on the bar, but we're not trying to lose. And I be goddamn it to change the rules. Not that you guys are into old Outcasts or anything, unless you're Lucas Pretz. But anyway, today I want to bring an old school video. Gonna be down here in the basement now. I got the B26 down here, and then I moved the 10 down here. But back in the day, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I used to have 4 75s against this wall right here, including one reef. Yeah, believe it or not, Dusty got salty back in the day. So I had a reef set up here. You'll see a quick glimpse of that. But I want to show you guys today the importance of substrate in a 50-50 aquarium. The 50-50 aquarium was half dirt on one side, half plain gravel on the other, and you can see the progressive plant growth thanks to a video that I edited. I didn't edit it, my dude Andrew edited it, but whatever. And yeah, I can show you the growth from 2 weeks to 2 weeks to 2 weeks on, and you can just see the growth. And it'll teach you a little something about how important substrate is. I've also got a guest cameo from someone who is no longer with us, and my old 90 gallon with a bunch of neons in it. Enjoy!
So I want to show the 50-50. So I'm going to call this tank the 50-50 from now on. All it is a 75-gallon tank that I'm going to do half with dirt, that half, and then the other half without dirt. I'm going to do my best to make sure that I do an update of this once a month, give or take, so I can show the growth with and without dirt. I think it'll be pretty crazy. I just happen to have this tank half full of dirt. And to give you some perspective, I want to show how I can stick my finger down in here. Hold on a second. I got my kid strapped to me, so bear with me. But I'm just going to take my finger and just shove it down so you can see the front. I'm just going to shove it down to about, you know, a knuckle or so. So you can see that. So that's about how much it was in. And that's how much dirt I use. So it should be good. There's going to be a lot of plant growth. I'm going to use 3 species, maybe more. Very easy ones. Jungle Val. I'm going to use some baby tears. And I'm going to use a bunch of Liguigia rippens, because that plant is awesome and can be grown a bunch of different ways. If anyone has any other plants they want to see grown, dirt versus dirt, I'll probably put some Rotella in there and probably some Stargrass. I'm going to aquascape them basically like just a mirror, just like one side looks just like the other. So there's no discrepancy, and that's pretty much it. So I wanted to show the tank once again with half dirt, half no dirt, and we'll roll it out. All right, quick update, undoing the 50-50. I got my tank as drained as it's gonna be. I've got just a tiny little bit of water in there. You can see just like a little bit of like above my finger or whatever. And what I'm gonna do since it's wet is I'm gonna use this Miracle Grow, please start sponsoring me. And I'm going to put it in here, and then I'm going to cap it with this. And there's no way to do it holding the camera, so sorry. But I'll show you it after I cap it. So I'll do a quick video of how high it is. So putting the dirt in, that's a little bit of water in there. Alright, so here's the 50-50 tank, and this is what we're doing. We've put 2 5-gallon buckets of water in here from out in the back pond. And I put a bunch of Jungle Val, as you can see, on this side and this side. And I actually put too much water in, so I'm going to have to siphon that down to like just basically the gravel level to kind of get some of this junk out. I'm going to scoop out some of all this on the top that's floating, because that's just going to be a problem. But then you always got to have enough gravel around. So I have this bag I went and bought for 13 bucks at the local pet supermarket. There's my cat, Go-Go. And it's actually a little bit bigger grade than I would have liked. You can see it through the bag. I'd like for it to be smaller than this, but this stuff will work, okay? So your regular old fish gravel that you buy will work. You don't need to buy all the expensive stuff. Just get the cheap stuff. I mean, the finer stuff would be better, absolutely. And actually, I'll show you. I have, you've seen it in some of my tanks, but I have some of this. This real fine stuff. I'm not going to use it on this tank because this is an experiment tank, but this stuff rules too. It's that real fine grade. It's like an onyx kind of powder. But anyway, to do the dirt right, you gotta lower the water level down, add more gravel, just because otherwise you're just going to be floating with all these parts and particles and stuff. So basically, I'm lowering the water level to make sure that there's less stuff floating around. I'm just going to kind of bury as much dirt as I can. So ideally, you don't want to have it this full when you're putting your gravel in. And that's Nola. She's strapped to me as usual. So as soon as we put her down, we're gonna get on this. Oh, I also I bought some airline tubing because I'm gonna hook the bubbles back up on this thing because these boys need as much oxygen as possible, but they're getting so freaking sweet. So that's what's up. Update in a second. All right, so here's an update. I'm siphoning water from my 75 with my rainbows in it into here. Now you're not supposed to do that typically because they have different bacteria. So like I just wouldn't go and put fish into that tank right away because this tank is just wired differently, and I wouldn't take any fish from another tank and just put them in there even though that tank is like healthy. So what I'm doing though is I'm draining water because as far as the scope of this project, all we were trying to do is do a half dirt and show you guys the dirt. So if we look over here, we can see that there's a bunch of stuff floating on top of this. One of the dudes asked me the other day, like, what's up with all this stuff floating? You just gotta roll with it. It's just part of it. It's messy. You can't clean it up. Now what I'm gonna do in a second here is I'm gonna scoop all this up. And I recommend, if you don't have one, get a big ass net. Because this net is a big ass net. And you can see it's like almost as wide as this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go like this. I'm just gonna scoop out all this crap. And one of the things that sucks about dirt tanks at first is you got to do a lot of this extra crap. So I mean, you're gonna have stuff floating in your water, like look at all these wood chips, But it's totally worth it though, because once you get it going, it's just like boom. So I'm gonna get this out of here, and this duckweed is actually a good thing. It's kind of messy right now, as you can see, but it will be beneficial to keeping algae because I got a lot of extra nutrients. Because half of it's filled with dirt, but the dirt I'm using has actually already been used, so it won't be too bad. That's why it's pretty sweet. That's why you always got to keep your dirt around. Like if you tear down a tank, keep it because it's already been submerged and soaked and all that. So I got all this out of there, and I'm gonna have to do this again. But what I'm gonna do though is instead of doing this a whole bunch, I'm just gonna do kind of like a wet run. Like I'm just gonna fill this right here, check for leaks or whatever, and then I'm gonna drain all that out because that water's just bad. And then I'm gonna go back and have to fill bucket after bucket from the pond because the rainbows are gonna go in here, and I've killed 2 batches of them, so I'm not screwing this one up. But in this tank, I've concluded we're only gonna do 3 species. We're gonna do jungle val, some baby tears, romanticus, something I forget the scientific name, and something else. So if you guys want to see this plant grown, and this Crispatula loves, I just gave it more light. It just grew because I got rid of all the crap that was floating in there. So yeah, that's what's up. We're gonna keep doing this though. We're having some fun. Baby's asleep. Things are rolling, and these guys love the current. There's my buddy.
And I got the 50-50 looking good. I'm sorry. I brought the rainbows in. This tank is hot right now. This is the side with no dirt. This is the side with dirt. And I added a bunch more plants. And you're probably looking at, I don't know, call it, I don't know, 18, 19 Bosemont rainbows. So I want to show you guys this. Check it out. These guys are really hot, and the cool part is I didn't have to do really shit to get them either. I just took a bunch of plants out of my 220 and threw them out in the pond. And Bosemont rainbows, if you look on Fish Tank TV, you'll see a post called "My Rainbow Fish Fucking." That's them doing it. And you can see how they spawn, and then this is the activity after the spawn. So this is just like a few of them, but if you back up, you can see them all. And I'm thinking about just leaving them in here. Let's see here. So somebody told me to make longer videos. I'm tired, man. I can't make a long video. It's Monday. Had a long day. I wish I was playing on my tanks all day. But let me show you what we got going on in this tank as far as like plants, so we can do a pretty good comparison, because I think it's pretty evenly matched. On the dirt side, we got the baby tears. I added one dwarf sword, and I've got this Luguigia rippins, and then in the back I've got jungle vow. Somebody was asking me, a lot of people actually ask me, what's my favorite like beginner plant? Without a doubt, jungle vow. I mean, there's no beating it. That's a good plant. That's going on this side. I just want to show you. And this side, kind of the same deal. And what's kind of interesting is I put the bigger, better sword over here, and it looks like it's doing really well. And then I also put another one over here, and again, there's no dirt on this side, so who knows? But right now they look about even. But so yeah, this tank is taking a couple steps in the right direction. I'm really excited. The fish make it pretty hot too. Something about looking at a school. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 I count. And what I did, just to mix it up, I'm running out of time. What I did to mix it up was I took some and I put some of them over here in the 90 gallon. So you see there's some of their brothers chilling. So that's what we're doing. And I wanted to do an update on the 50/50 tank. I'm in my baby sleeping voice mode. But the 50/50 is finally starting to show that the dirt is taking the lead. And I'm just going to give a little example of that, nothing big. This tank is going to turn out really, really dope. This is actually the giant bag of baby tears that I had. I need to probably put some of these down in here. But anyway, the 50/50 is, oh shit, that has white stuff on it. The 50/50 is starting to like differentiate itself. Like the if you'll notice, the plants over here are just a little bit taller and growing a little bit better. See how tall they get right there? The jungle vow, obviously. And then you can see the new leaves on the sword coming in. And then the dwarf, the stargrass is like real low and compact and growing in. And I'm going to do a comparison over here. The jungle vow is not as high, still growing good, but not, I would say not quite as well. Still kind of in a close race, but you won't notice as much new growth on that one, the sword, or this one looks kind of crunk, and then the stargrass is not doing as well. So also the baby tears. Look at the baby tears here. No dirt. Baby tears. Dirt. Baby tears. I mean, you know, what more do you want? And oh, by the way, those Bosemani are wicked, wicked. I can't wait for them to be all big and huge. So, I'm having fun with this experiment. When I was down in Atlanta, I didn't shoot too many videos, obviously, except for the one in the pet store. But I did update Fish Tank TV quite a bit, and that was a lot of fun. Looking at old videos, updating stuff. And I'm really excited about busting out this book. I don't know, I feel like a lot of times people get too complicated with this shit, and it's like, you just gotta keep it easy, and I think people get too many opinions. I mean, we've all got opinions, and everybody's got their own thing. I mean, there's sweet tanks that don't have dirt in them, so I'm not gonna, like, you know, hate on other people's styles, but I think a lot of you guys just get into the hobby. There's, like, too much information coming in, and you kind of just gotta pick somebody to listen to. Obviously, I hope it's me, but, I mean, my knowledge came from listening to all kinds of people, but nobody in town was doing dirt until I got into it, and they thought I was nuts, but in the Wallstead method, it's the way to go. So, I'm loving these rainbows, though. I'm thinking about, I don't know, I might just leave it Dutch. I was thinking about adding that piece of driftwood from outside in here, but with the 50/50, I just kind of want to keep it like, you know, one side and the other side. So, but that's what's going on there. So yeah, I can't wait, because by the time the rainbows get big, all this jungle val, all this stargrass, all this jungle val is going to be huge. So it's like the tank is kind of like growing together, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what's up. Thanks for all the comments. I'm really having a lot of fun with this. It's cool when you guys check it out and I'm like, or like, yo, that's sweet. And I mean, it's just fun, you know? You gotta have fun with this stuff. Sure beats television, right? So, oh, I talked to my dude Brian. He's got a write-up on Anubias. If anyone wants to know about Anubias, I'm gonna get that up tomorrow. So, that's it. Having some fun. Later.